Hey everybody, Cory Insures Nova with Atkinson Insurance. I am an insurance broker. That means that we have access to 20 plus carriers in order to shop around for the best value in home and auto insurance. Our agency does have multiple lines of insurance, so we do address life, health, medical, commercial, business. We do all lines of insurance, but I specialize in home and auto. I've been working directly with realtors, lenders, new home buyers, refinances for the past 9 years, and find that we do a great job of kind of making sure that the client is educated and are getting the best value should they decide to proceed. So for me, I really just focus on the basics, making sure people are covered properly on their home and auto policies. And what I have here is attached is a little bit of a flyer that's going to go through some of the details of our agency, some of the details of things that our agency does, and 17 things that do impact home insurance rates, which is something that a lot of people don't think about. Whether you're a property manager or a realtor putting a property on the market for sale, or you're looking at a property to purchase, these are all things that can come into play as far as how your rates may be for an insurance quote. So a little bit about our agency. As I mentioned, we are out of Richmond. I am in Northern Virginia. I am the only agent in Northern Virginia. And here is the front of the flyer. We are really adamant about trying to be personable, personalizing your quotes towards you, being reachable, and making sure that you feel comfortable in the decision you make when you do go through our process and receive quotes from us, that we have your best interest at hand. So we pride ourselves in getting same day quotes. A lot of realtors, new purchases, etc., might want to know the claim history of a home. We can provide that. That's a clue report, a comprehensive loss underwriting exchange report. In order for me to do this, all you need to do is contact me and say, hey, my client's looking at a property. We think there might be something funny. Can you find out if there's been a claim on the property? We can do that. We may not have the exact specifics, but generically we can have a date, the type of claim, maybe if it was fire, water, flood, stolen items, we can have the cost of the payout. So this is very helpful when you're going to the market. You can advertise your home to be clean, meaning no claims on the home. You can also go to your the seller and maybe negotiate and make sure that you have documentation stating that certain things have been mitigated and repaired properly. So scrolling down, we are a full service agency, 20 plus carriers. We have a full team. We have people working on claims, billing. Once again, I'm more on the sales and on the agent side. So I'm going to be the front line of building that relationship with the realtors, lenders, customers, clients, getting the process from quoting all the way to selling. And then after that, I'm still available, but if you can't get a hold of me, you can always touch base with somebody else in our office, and they will be happy to review your file, answer questions, and help you with that process. Now, when you actually do file a claim, which we can assist with it, we will go directly through that carrier, and the adjuster will be the point of contact at that point. Here is my contact information. So if you use your phone, if you're on your computer and you can use your phone, you could scan, and please save this information, because I'll bet you don't have an insurance broker in your phone. At least most of you don't. So scan that, save that contact. Here's my office right here in Gainesville. Here is my direct email. So here we go. 17 factors, and I'm not going to go through each one in major detail, but I do want to talk about them and just give you some ideas, because some of you may not be aware that this is even the thing. So number one is the replacement cost. On a standard home insurance policy, the biggest value is usually the dwelling coverage. That's the amount it costs to rebuild the home. We have a replacement cost estimator in our system. We go in, type in some of the details of the home, and that will give us a general idea of the cost to replace the home. That's the biggest figure that you'll see listed on that quote, usually unless liability is above the dwelling amount, but normally the dwelling coverage is the highest number, and the rest of the policy is based off of that number in general. So depending on what the cost to rebuild the home is, that's going to be what your dwelling coverage or your replacement cost is to rebuild the home from the ground up. Now, also keep in mind, an insurance policy or this dwelling coverage, this replacement cost coverage, does not include or even consider what the market value is, what the cost of the land is, what Zillow says, what Redfin says, what your assessment says. This is just how insurance calculates the rebuild of the home from the ground up. Number two, your deductible. Over the past few years, claims have come in much higher than they used to, as far as the number of claims that have come in and the cost of repair, due to the cost to rebuild things and equipment and utilities and everything that goes into rebuilding a home. The costs have gone up. So the deductible is going to be that amount you're going to pay out of pocket when you have a claim. That's going to be the first amount, and then the insurance company pays the rest. So if your deductible is $1,000, you pay $1,000, insurance pays the $9,000. But what we want to really do is make sure that before you file a claim, you're talking to us so we can talk you through it and make sure that it's in your best interest to make that claim. It's essentially going to be up to you, but we don't advise people making claims unless that the damage is sudden, accidental, and a covered cause, a covered loss, and also well above your deductible. For example, if your deductible is $2,500, I would not recommend necessarily filing a claim if the total damage is $3,000. Sudden, accidental, catastrophic, ideally. Now, everybody's got a different financial situation, so it is up to you to make that decision, but we're there to help you with that. Number three, and a controversial one, dog breeds. Some carriers, when you go ask to get a quote or you try to apply for a quote, may not even ask you what dog you have because they don't care what dog you have. Well, we have 20 plus carriers, so we're shopping around. We have carriers that may not like a Rottweiler or a Pit Bull or a Mastiff. So we have to kind of cipher through and filter through our carriers to make sure if you have a certain type of dog that we can fit you in with that carrier so there's no surprises later. A wood stove. This could be a little bit of a risk. So they just want to know if there's a wood stove. Usually they want to know that it's been professionally installed, that it's UL listed. So that's just something that kind of stacks. A lot of times having a wood stove in garage is kind of an issue. So if you ever come up on a home that has a wood stove, just make sure you're talking to your insurance carrier about that. Number five, a home-based business. Now, if you have a commercial or home-based business, you want to make sure you have coverage for that separately because your home policy generally may not cover that. So just something to keep in mind. There may be an endorsement on your home policy, or there might need to be an exclusion on your home policy that will say that you're not covered for your home business, but you do want to make sure that if you have inventory, you have people coming in and out, that you are covered properly and appropriately. Number six, remodeling. In what we mean by remodeling to me is that if you've done renovations, if you've updated bathrooms, kitchens, if you put a new roof on, any updates you've done, if you've upgraded the plumbing, if you've updated the electrical box, these things also contribute to that replacement cost estimate. Also, nowadays, the age of roof, which I believe will be down here, is a huge, huge stipulation now in getting quotes. Most carriers want a roof that's 15 years or newer. Some will do 20 years or newer. I understand that you might have a 30-year or more or longer roof or a 50-year or lifetime roof, but this is what insurance carriers are generally wanting, is a newer roof, 20 years or 15 years or newer. Next, we're looking at home liability limits. Probably the second most important, maybe first most important line on your deck page. And this is going to cover you for things that may happen at your residence. So if someone's trying to sue you or someone gets hurt. So you want that liability limit to be at least $500,000. It's literally a few dollars to go from 100 or 300,000 to 500,000. So you really want to make sure that you're maxed out on that. Now, if you have a home and auto together, we do recommend that you do have an umbrella, and that would be in increments of $1 million above and beyond your home and auto. Number 8, your insurance score. This is not directly related to, but it is related to your credit score. Whenever you're getting an insurance quote, we will be asking for date of birth and social security number, but you will not be getting a hard pull on your credit, so you don't need to worry about that. But they will pull an insurance score, which does contribute to what your premium may be or your insurance rate. Number 9, marital status. Married couples historically file fewer claims than singles. This is historically how it's done. Therefore, it could be a better premium. If you are married, if you're living with if you are married, listing you as married and having both persons contact on the application is generally going to be a benefit. Also gives both parties access to the policies when you call into the office. Number 10, age of construction of the home. This is kind of, maybe common sense. The newer the home, maybe more expensive, but also less likely to have issues. So that's going to be a better risk overall with hopefully a lower premium. Swimming pool and hot tubs. Some carriers don't want you to have a pool, don't want you to have a diving board, don't want you to have a slide. So you just want to make sure that you're letting your insurance know that you do have a pool or a hot tub so they can make sure you're rated properly. Trampolines, same thing. If they do allow trampolines, they usually want to make sure they're netted and fenced. They are a hindrance. They can be a liability issue. So having them, you just want to make sure that your insurance company does know it and that you're covered for that. Number 13, we talked briefly about, and that is roof condition. The condition of that roof does affect your home policy. It's one of the biggest claims that continually happens each year, which is allowing there to be a lot more strict policies on making sure you have a new roof. Number 14, proximity to fire station. Every insurance policy is rated on all of these items, and one is called a PC class or a protection class. That's how far you are from a water source or police or fire. So, for example, if you live in the sorry for these pop-ups here, but I'm doing this all in real time. If you live in the middle of Gainesville, per se, and in a housing community, you probably are closer to a fire hydrant. You're probably closer to the actual fire station. So that's going to be a protection class closer to 3, 2, or 1. If you're living out in Nokesville, in the woods, or Bull Run Mountain, or a place where you're further from water, further from fire departments, you're going to be more of a chance that home could burn and have more damage from fire, putting you at a higher protection class. Number 15 is location. Closer to water could be an issue. Being on the coast, being in a flood area, that can be an issue. Keep in mind, flood is covered separately from a home policy. So if you did want to be covered for flood, we would quote that up separately. Number 16 is credit history, kind of linked to that insurance score that I talked about. And number 17 is claim history. More than ever, they are being very, very picky. If you have a claim within the last year, certain carriers may not want to insure you. They look at you to being a high risk. Please keep in mind, insurance is not a maintenance policy. If you're looking for something more maintenance related, you might want to get a home warranty or something like that. Insurance is to be used for something sudden, accidental, catastrophic, does not include any damage from wear and tear or overuse or misuse or anything that's been just kind of maintaining long term. It's sudden, accidental, catastrophic. So you want to make sure that if you are considering filing a claim, please talk to us first. Let us talk through the general ideas and make sure that you feel that it's in your best interest to actually file that claim. There's my QR code again. If you didn't get it on the front, I just want to thank you all again for the opportunity. Please reach out to me. If you have not had a conversation with an insurance broker, please let's set up a time and have a conversation. There are so many things that could be helpful for having more information, understanding our process, understanding what goes into it, and even getting your own policies reviewed to make sure that you are getting the best value for your insurance. Usually every 2 to 3 years, we're going to reshop in-house anyway. I would definitely recommend that you reach out, give us a chance to earn your business, review your policies, and see if we can help you as well. I hope you all have a great day today. Once again, Cory Insures Nova with Atkinson Insurance. You can reach me at 703-705-7525 or Cory Insures Nova at Atkinson INS. You can find me on all social media at Cory Insures Nova. Thank you again. Have a great day today, and we'll talk to you soon.